How's it going, everyone? It is Drago. We're back with another chapter of Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest, chapter 150, Metal Dragon God Vernus. Which, to celebrate 150 chapters, we get a color page with everyone that's in this arc on it. In a very subtle way, you get a New Year's element to it with Lecter, shooting off the little confetti. I'm a very big fan of this cover, and it's also kind of interesting to get, obviously Sabretooth in this cover. In general, I just really like this cover with the Fairy Tail flag in the background, just kind of how everyone's laid out. There was one thing on this cover that threw me, and the second I noticed it, it was like, what is going on? So Lucy on this cover, she does have usually kind of a glove on her arm, but it doesn't cover her hands. And this, cover has it being a full glove with it also covering her hands. Kind of an interesting detail that they did for this. Some people, you don't really get to see their outfits at all, like Yukino and Urza, like they're just cut off completely. To be honest, this is probably the only cover that you're going to get with the Fairy Tail group, Sabretooth, and Jalal all on the same cover at the same time. We pick up the 150th chapter with the kind of shot we had from last chapter with Vernus fully revived. And Natsu is bolting immediately to go attack, which has Lucy have some reservations on wanting to attack Vernus because, it's Athena. And in Natsu's mind, since she was the one that willingly sacrificed herself to summon him, it was her will for them to take Vernus down. So he's like, well, I'm going to take him down, and, it's for, Athena's sake as well. And Vernus doesn't like this too much. He starts doing a breath attack, which has everyone dodge it. In a very interesting twist to his breath attack, kind of similar to like Zarkonis, his breath attack hits like a tree and it turns the tree completely gold. Not entirely sure what it's doing, but he kind of starts flapping his wings and it makes all these twinkling stars appear in the sky. Well, it turns out all that twinkle is actually a rain of gold. And that starts raining on the battlefield and everyone seems to dodge it pretty okay. Even him walking on the ground, just one step turns like the ground around him completely to gold. I love Natsu's joke here with him saying, you're turning everything shiny. How do you like the glow of my flames? And he just does a massive flame attack. And it does little to nothing to Vernus, and Natsu makes quite the face in a reaction to it. And this is actually a rare instance where it actually hurts Natsu by punching it, because it literally did nothing. And since Natsu's flame and punch did literally nothing to it, Urza's like, well, it's my turn, I'll use my swords. And Wendy enchants Urza, and she goes to attack, and her sword just shatters like it's nothing. So with Natsu and Urza unable to do anything, it's Sting and Rogue's turn to try. And they do a unison raid with the White Shadow Dragon Silk Thread. And that, once again, does absolutely nothing to him. Followed up by Jalal and Gray taking their turn at Vernus, which once again doesn't really do much of anything to him. Which has Natsu take another round with him doing Fire Dragon's Wing Attack. Usually Natsu is not the one to ever request teammate help, but he specifically requests Lucy to help them fight. And she finally decides to join in the fight with, this being Athena's wishes. She can't afford to lose. And Vernus does another pretty major breath attack, which just explodes the whole area around them. Love that Lucy is the one to kind of try and pinpoint Vernus's potential weaknesses, since Natsu should be pretty well suited to this fight, with Lucy stating that gold conducts heat and electricity very well, which obviously Natsu is pretty good at making heat, so basically as long as they keep hitting it with more heat and or / electricity, they should potentially be able to take down Vernus. Which actually Natsu is really well suited to this fight because he has both heat and electricity, which was going to have everyone just dump all their magic into Natsu to have him be the sole person to fight. And he's not feeling it because he's like, don't need it, I'm all fired up, just runs into battle solo. And everyone else is just like, oh my goodness, Natsu, like, why couldn't you let us give you the power boost? And I like that, like, Urza's like, we'll just give it to him by force. And that's the end of our chapter. So my thoughts. If they're needing flames and electricity, Urza also is a contender here because she obviously can use electric attacks. Not probably nearly as strong as like Natsu and or slash Loxus, but you know, she can use it as well to help in this fight. No one else off the top of my head I'm really getting that they could make heat or electricity pretty easily to help in this fight. But honestly, super interesting dragon here that he turns everything to gold, you know, kind of has a super unique breath attack and, you know, basically can't be damaged. I mean, obviously we don't know entirely if the heat and electricity thing's gonna work. That's just a theory that Lucy has. If it does, pretty unique way to kind of defeat this guy, that it's like a very specific weakness, which actually does add up because gold literally actually does have those properties IRL. Once again, I'm currently working on a Lucy video that right now has it recorded for over like an hour and 30 minutes ish. I have to bring that down, and I'm currently getting all the assets for it, so I don't know when that's going to come out. It's a very big video project to work on. Otherwise, what are your guys' thoughts on this chapter? Leave it in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and this is Drago signing out.